watch it. Right. So we are there to discuss the what we call the second paper of the 2016. So let me import it right here. Right. So the first question. Yeah, first question says convert the hexadecimal number E9 to the equivalent octal number. Show relevant steps. So like you can do it in two different ways, right? So you can like let me share the screen as well. Haven't shared it. Okay, so you can do it in two different ways. One way is like going from hex to binary and to octal, right? Or else you can go from hex to decimal, then to octal, right? You can go on those two ways, right? So how you are going to do is your hexa value is E9. So E9 will be extracted. This is a hexadecimal value. So how we are going to extract? Using 4-bit number, right? As a 4-bit number, right? That means we're having 4 ones and zeros. So the place values will be like 1, 2, 4, and 8 for these ones. Here it's 1, 2, 4, and 8 for these ones, right? So E means what? It is 14. So 14 is going to perform like 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. 0 is here. And 9, it's going to be 8 plus 1. So other two things will be 0. So that means you will be having 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1 as the binary value. So now what we have to do is yeah, Leandra. Yes, Leandra. E is 14 dual. Like we are counting from 10, no? So 10 means A. So like A, B, C, D, E. That means the fifth one. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is the 14 stand for E. 15 stand for F. Sorry, FE stand for 15. Right? So that's all we are having in the hexadecimal value. So then what we are going to do is we are going to divide this into the group of threes, right? So then this is having 1 because 1, 2, and 4 are the place value of these things. So this gives 1. So in the very same way, when you're having 4 to 1, this gives 5. When we don't have 4 here, we are having 2 and 1. So we are having 3 over here. So 351 in octal is going to be your answer. Let me check the marking scheme as well. Yeah, 351. Right, so 351 is going to be the answer in this manner. So I'm quickly going to go through the other way as well. So hex into decimal, how we are going to do that? E9, 16, we are going to use the place values over here when we are converting into the decimal. So this is going to be 16 to the power 0. This is going to be 16 to the power 1, right? Which means this is 1, this is 16. So we know now E is 14. So to have the answer by decimal, you have to take 16 into 14 plus 1 into 9, right? So 16 into 14 means 16 into 4 is 64, 6 is remaining, 16 into 1 is 16 plus 6 is 22 plus 9, which gives you 233. So later what we are going to do is we are going to convert this 233, this is a decimal value, will be converted into octal. So we are going to divide it by 8. So there will be like 2 and 7 is remaining. So 73 it's 9 and 1 is remaining. So still it is not less than 8. So here comes the 8. This 3, 24 and 5 is remaining. So now it is less than 3. 3 is less than 8. So we can take from the place where we stop with the remainders, right? So then your answer is going to be 351 in octal. Some of you may know the way of doing it like this, like meavat atem bedala. So 0 and 3 is remaining. Then you will go for these remainders. Still you are going to have the same value, right? 351 in octal. Right, so you are given 2 marks for that with the correct calculation methods, right? So if you are not shown any calculation steps, only 1 mark is given, right? So remember they have specifically said to you, show the calculations clearly, like with the calculation something. So you have to go with that. Yeah, show the relevant steps. Okay, so moving to the second part. If you got any problem, you can disturb me always. Right. Consider the following logic circuit diagram and present the equivalent Boolean expression for the above logic circuit. Present the equivalent Boolean expression for the above logic circuit. So this is easy, right? So only thing we have to do it with the circuit. So let's see. If P is here, P is going to be right here as well. Let me have another color. And if Q is here, Q is going to be there here, as well as P will be here and Q will be here because it is taken from those lines. This is an OR gate, the very first one. So this gives you P plus Q. Better you have the brackets. This is a NAND gate. So NAND gate will produce you P dot Q total bar, right? And then at the final time, there is an AND gate. So you are going to multiply it. So you can have P plus Q dot P dot Q bar, or else you can go the other way around. P dot Q bar dot P plus Q. Brackets should be there, right? So for that, you are going to have 2 marks, right? You can use either the name of the operator or the symbol of the operator, right? So you can do it on this manner. It doesn't matter. It's better you always follow the operators. Now here they have given some marks for the places you don't have used the operators as well, but it's better you follow the things, right? Okay, so the third part is talking about a company uses its own file server to store electronic documents, spreadsheet, and images. In order to reduce the cost, it decides to store these files in a in a cloud-based drive. It means online drive, right? Write down one benefit of using cloud-based drive in addition to reducing the cost. So there are many. Marking scheme shows better or improved performance can be taken as an answer. Fewer maintenance issues, high reliability, better security, right? Anywhere, anytime access, right? Those things can be taken as the benefits of the cloud service, right? This instant software updates, that is going to be a doubt. Data redundancy, Leandra, data redundancy is a disadvantage to it. It's not an advantage. Data redundancy will lead you to many different problems, Leandra. It's not an advantage to it. Right? Data redundancy means having the same data in different types of places, right? Can save computer storage. Okay, Binu, yes, go for it. But it's better you concentrate on the reasons that they have given, right? Okay, so the next part is asking the disadvantages, right? One disadvantage is using the cloud-based drive. So here they have shown you several disadvantages. Constant internet connection required, right? And good internet connection required. If you have a bad quality of signals, uh, cloud computing will be like a hassle for you, or will be a headache for you, because it takes a lot of time. So you need a good internet connection. Depends on third party, right? So that means like cloud storage is owned by someone else, so they have to depend on that party. Then someone can say the security is good, and someone can argue security is not good, because the data is in on a third hand, so they can spread this if they want. So there is a risk, right? And as well as privacy issues, right? So those kind of reasons can be taken as an disadvantages. If you got any alternative answers, you can ask. Right. So moving forward. Dola Butala, just give me a second. I was like installing a software. All right, let's continue. The third one says a company uses its own files. We talk about it. I'm sorry. Gita uses an automated, Sorry, people. Geeta uses an automated teller machine ATM to withdraw money from a bank account. Yes. Now, this particular question is asking us to write down what are the inputs, what are the processing, and what are the outputs. Right. So I'm taking colors. I'm using red color to say what are the inputs are. Geeta uses automated teller machine to withdraw money from her bank account. First, she insert the ATM card. So ATM card is going to be an input or the card details into the machine and enter the secret PIN code. So the secret PIN code is going to be an input as well. Then she enters the amount of money she wants. So amount of money is going to be another input. The system checks the balance available. So checking the balance available is is going to be a process which is in blue color in her account, and dispense money as the balance available in her account. So dispensing money, so money is going to be an output, and in her account is more than the amount of money Geeta wants. As the balance available in her account is more than the amount of money Geeta wants to withdraw. So now in that particular sentence, it has a process hidden inside it, right? Like checking the balance available kind of a thing, right? So that can be taken as a process as well. At the same time, the system updates the balance available. So updates the balance available is going to be a process. By deducting the amount of money dispensed from the previous balance, right? So updating the balance available. So these are going to be inputs in red color, process in blue color, right? And I'm going to underline this particular thing as well in blue color, but you have to write it in a summary form, right? Right, so process and the output. So as the marking scheme shows, yeah, inputs will be PIN number, amount to withdraw, card details, processing, update account balance, compare, check amount and balance, valid PIN, one of those you only need to write. Output, the account balance, cash, money, receipt, card, all these things. So the way of they have given the marks is if you got only one correct, 0.5. If you got two correct, 1 marks. If you got all correct, then only 2 marks are given. Right, so that is the way of that question is going to be. And the fourth one, yeah, they are asking us to match some things. Yeah, so we are going to match the port for the particular activity. So selecting a menu option using an optical mouse. So optical mouse here, we can only connect it to the USB, right? So A is going to be USB. I'm not going to use the lines, right? I'll write it in front of the letter USB. Listening to a song using a headphone. So headphone is going to connect with the audio port. So this is going to be audio. And accessing the internet through local area network, we need an RJ45 port to connect the network cables. So RJ45. And show a video clip with multimedia projector, we need an HDMI. Even VGA will do the same, but here we are left with HDMI, right? So it is going to be like that, right? USB for A, audio for B, RJ45 for C, HDMI for D, right? And moving to the next question. Yeah, they have provided you a formatted Word document and the unformatted one. So they're asking what are the tools that you can use to do the formatting. So from this to this, it's become like bigger in size, right? So it's going to be either B or C for the first one, right? So one of those for the first one. The second one, green IT, the font size are same, but the width, like it was getting thicker, right? So that means bold. So H can be used as the answer of 2. Then the third one, it is a bullet list. That means F can be used for the third answer. And in the fourth one, it is been italicized, right? So we need I as the fourth answer. So yeah, as the marking scheme shows, so the previous one, 0.5 for each correct answer. And in here, it is the same, 0.5 for each correct answer, right? So 1 is B, 2 is H, 3 is F, and 4 is I, right? 0.5 for each correct answer, right? Okay. In the seventh one, again, they are asking us to match the things, right? So in seventh, they're asking us to match the things with the relevant symbol, or like what is the activity which can be done through the graphic editing software, and what kind of a tool that we can use for that, right? So selecting a part of image based on its color. So that can be done with this magic wand or the fuzzy tool. So for W, it's going to be 4. Moving the selected part of the image, you can use 1, right? So we can understand it like having the like directions, showing the directions to the all the sides, right? And erase part of the image. Obviously, we can use the what we call Adisha. You raised the hand. Do you got a problem? Do you got a question, Puta? So the erase part of the image, we can use 2, the eraser. So change the color of the selected part of the image. So we are left with 3, it's the paint bucket. So we can use 3 as the paint bucket. Right, so W is 4, X is 1, Y is 2, Z is 3. That's how it happens. So again, 0.5 for each part. Yes, I have missed the previous one. www, FTP, DNS, and HTTP. I'll come to that. So for the 8th one, it's going to be like this: W4, X1, Y2, and Z3. 0.5 for each. Okay, so the previous one, the 7th one, consider the following table with 4 statements. Yes, we are going to match the statement with the protocol. Large collection of electronic documents. So the best answer that we can go for this is www, World Wide Web, because it is a collection of websites. So websites are a collection of web pages, which are electronic documents, right? So for P, we can go www. And transfer large file from one computer to another over the internet. So transferring files, file transfer protocol, right? The answer is there in the question. So transferring files will give you file transfer protocol, FTP. Translate a URL to an IP address. So who does this? The domain name system, DNS. So let me remind you the process. Like if you need to contact with some website, we just type that website's name. Let's say we need to connect with the google.com. So we type it www.google.com on the web browser. That particular domain name cannot be recognized by the computer. Computer can recognize another computer with the help of IP address. So whatever we are typing should be converted or should be mapped into a particular IP address. So for that, the network use the DNS, domain name system, right? So why the DNS is there? The browser will send the particular domain name, in our case, www.google.com, to the DNS. And DNS is having a table which says what is the specific IP address for this particular, what you call the www.google.com domain name. So then it finds the IP address and send back to the browser. So now browser knows what's the IP address of this particular domain name. So then browser is connected with the particular computer in the internet and will do the transferring of the data, right? So translate URL to an IP address, it is the DNS, domain name system. A protocol to access web page. So web page are made up by hypertext. So when they are accessing or they are transferring, we use hypertext transfer protocol, which is HTTP, right? So www for P, FTP for Q, DNS for R, and HTTP for S. Right. So this is how the marking scheme shows. Right. So 0.5 for each correct answer. Moving to the ninth one. Yeah, I think you have given some scenario and they are asking what are the, yes, not the scenario, the picture. Consider the given diagram, give an example each for hardware, application, software, and liveware. So there are many, right? Hardware, mouse, keyboard, monitor, like starting from that, you have like what? Infinite number of hardwares now, right? And softwares again. Now here, remember you have to write an example. Don't just write word processing software, it won't be a good answer. You have to say MS Word, MS PowerPoint, MS Excel, right? So some kind of an application software, right? And for liveware, you can say a user, right? The computer user or operator, right? Likewise. Identify and write down one component represented by X. Now, the most suitable answer is operating system, right? So, but in the marking scheme, they have given several different answers, like these type of operating systems or system software or utility software or kind of things, right? But the best answer is operating system, right? So how you were having the marks, 0.5 for each part, 0.5 for hardware, 0.5 for application software, 0.5 for liveware, and 0.5 for the operating system or the B part. Yeah, the last one is about hand tracing. Let's do the hand tracing and see, right? Yeah, this is easy. Consider the following program segment in Pascal. So one array 0 double dot 4 of integers. Now What is this? They are talking about an array. So var stands for variable, which is a keyword. So num is the name of the array, right? And putting a colon and saying the array word will indicate that it is going to be an array. The num is going to be an array, and it has 5 places, 0, double dot 4. So indexes will go on from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, of integers. So this array is going to contain the values which are integers. So in the memory, this is what has happening. So it will name, give a label called num, and an array will be created with 5 places, and those places will be labeled as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is why the indexes are there. So then begin. It says num0 should be assigned with the 15. So num0 means the 0th position is going to fill with 15. Num2 with 18. So it's going to fill with 18. Num4 50. So it is going to show you 50. And num1, they are asking you to add 10 to num4 and assign it to num1. So num4 is 50, you are adding 10, that means 60. 60 will be assigned to the num1. And then num2 and num0 will add it together and assign it to num3. So num0 and num2 means 15 and 18, which will give you 33. So 33 will be assigned to the third one, or the third index. Then the assigning part is okay. So then it asks for I colon equal 1 to 4, write ln num I. So this means I will be start from 1 and do the iteration until I becomes 4, like doing the increment 1 by 1 per iteration. So in the for loop, it says for I equals 1, so I will become 1 at the very first time. Write ln, that is something to consider, because write ln does what write ln doing? It's just printing a thing on this monitor and taking the cursor to the next line, right? So they are asking you to print num I. Num I means num1. Num1 means what? 60. So in your monitor, you will see 60, because it refers to num I. For the moment, I is 1. So num1 will be accessed. Then num2, then I will increase by 1, so I become 2. So num2 will be written, so 18. Then num3 will be written as 33. In the last iteration, I is 4, so the num4 will be written, which is 50. So 60, 18, 33, 50 should be written in this manner, one after the other, right? So it gives 2 marks, and there is a note. When the answer of this part question is given in a single line as like this, only first value 60 is considered as the correct one. And 0.5 විතරයි හම්බෙන්නේ. You are going to lose 1.5 because the output is not correct. All right. So people, is it okay? Confirm me. Is it okay so far? Right. All right, so moving to the second question. Who have done the second question? Is there anyone who has done the second question? Okay, right. Let's go for the second question. So the question says, yeah, so like description of different malwares labeled in letter A to D, and list of different malwares are given in the first and the second column of the following label respectively. However, yeah. And before I move to this particular part, I need you to take you to the particular theory part, because we have missed it discussing during our class. So let's discuss at this point. Right? Let's go to see different kinds of computer worms, or like the different kind of malwares, right? Yes. So where did you find that? Here it comes. So malware, or the malicious software, is considered as the harmful software, so harmful programs to your computers. So in the very common term, you call it as a virus, right? But virus is going to be one type of a malware, right? So it will do this much of things to our computer when it get infected, right? So it's decrease efficiency of the computer, right? Improper functioning, unnecessary attempts of restart again and again, right? So like in short form, it will be a headache for us, or it will annoy us, right? And destruction or malfunction of softwares will not be work sometimes, and won't be work on the correct manner if it is infected. Inability to install other softwares. Yeah, the Anidu, it can weaken the hardwares by asking the hardwares to perform frequently. Then හිතන්නකෝ යාට පුළුවන් දිගටම වැඩ කරන නිකම් in like if you think about a program which is executing infinitely, and it can send it to the CPU and ask it to run it again and again and again. So CPU will feel I have received something very important which I have to run very fastly, so it will run, right? And RAM will be filled by a lot of things, and the hard disk will be rotated very in a very speed manner due to that malicious software. So it will weaken the hardwares, right? And sabotage the computer networks, right? Like it can spread over the computer network, as well as like can make a very big traffic inside the computer network. So you will feel the network is getting slow, right? And data theft and destruction, right? So data can be gone for a can be stolen by a third party, right? And reduction of the storage capacity of hard disk by storing unnecessary documents and files. Yes, it can create files unnecessarily, so it can reduce the capacity of your storage devices, right? So let's get to know about what are these malwares, right? So first one is the computer virus. Now this computer virus is a harmful software, definitely, but it will not get executed by itself. It needs the user's interaction, right? So by mistake or by willingly, I don't think someone will execute a virus by willingly. So like it will be activated by user, executed by user somehow, right? Then the virus can spread, at its will, right? So these things can be entered to your computer using these pen drives, external hard disk, the SD cards, right, or through the emails, those kind of things, right? So it is the way of computer virus. And when it comes to the computer worms, they really don't need anything to, or like anyone to get execute. It will execute by itself. It's very dangerous, right? So in most of the cases, these things are spread through the email attachments or the false websites and instant messages like WhatsApp, Viber, and all these things. So like just opening will be enough for that. Like if you open a email which contains a computer worm, it will infect your computer. So that is why we always say, please do not open the suspicious emails. And the next thing, keep your internet, like antivirus software, up to date, right? So like antivirus software are like providing a lot of facilities and features to prevent things like they can scan external storage device. Once it get connected, it can scan an email and before it downloaded, right, before it open as well, right? So there are many, right? So to get prevent from these things, you have to be very conscious uh, with the softwares like antivirus software, right? And the spyware. Now spyware is a type of Trojan. Right now, why we call this Trojan horse? Now, Trojan horse name is taken from this from a Greek story, right? Where there was a city called Troy, where the people cannot, or like the Romans are not being able to invade it, right? So what they have done was they have created a very big wooden horse. It's a very giant one where they could, where the Trojan horse could consist like army of Romans inside its belly or like inside the wooden horse. And then they gift it to the Troy city by saying, we are not coming for the war, let's live in peace. But it was a trick, right? So the Troy people received the gift, the big, giant wooden horse, and they like they were celebrating the peace, right? Having the parties, drinking around, and army was like what dismantled, and they were thinking about the peace. And in the night, the Roman army, who was like hidden inside the Trojan horse, was attacking to the Troy city and invaded, right? So that's how the Trojan horse story has begun, right? So again, අපිට genuine දෙයක් ඇතුලේ not genuine දෙයක් දාලා දෙනකොට අපි කියනවා it's a Trojan horse කියලා, right? It is because of this story, right? So the Trojan horse malware, in other words, a spyware, comes on the same way, right? So like we are having something genuine with us, right? Or like software or a particular email or particular kind of a mail attachment. So we feel it is genuine. So we download it, or we will install the particular software. Like through that process, the malicious software will get inserted into the system. So it can be a virus or it can be a worm, any kind of thing, but it's not something direct. It is being given us with a nice wrapping to have the feeling or to get the idea that this is something genuine, but which is really not, right? So these are the things that Trojan horse does. As it explains, Trojan horse spyware makes the user uncomfortable by unnecessarily open up the windows, producing different desktops, deleting documents, stealing data, right? Further, it allows other harmful software to gain entry, right? Like I said, the virus and the worms, right? And Trojan enter computer with an email attachment. However, unlike computer viruses and worms, the Trojan horse does not spread by itself. Yeah. So we have to open it and take it. Right. ඒක කියන්නේ Trojan horse කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එයා ඉන්නවා ඉන්න තැන. අපි ඒක නිකන් එක්ස්පෙරිමන්ට් කරන්න ගිහිලා ඇරලා බලන්න ගියොත් තමයි we are going to be in trouble. Right? And adware. Now this adware you always face in these kind of things like displaying unnecessary advertisement and notice on the computer screen. Maybe most of your computers may like infected with the adware, but again, adware is not a very serious kind of a virus, a serious kind of virus. We can like capture it from the existing virus scanner and block those things, right? Sometimes by ourselves we allow them to come into our computers. Like සමහරවිට අපි internet එකෙන් softwares download කරන්න ගියාම like ඒගොල්ලෝ අපිව trick කරනවා මේක අරගන්න අරගත්තොත් තමයි ඔයාට ඊළඟ software එක හම්බෙන්නේ වගේ දේවල් වලින්. So we just agree to have those, then they are gaining the access to our computer. It is not harmful, but it will disturb the users, right? Bots. Now this is like something which generated with the term of robots, right? So this is an harmful software, right? It will do the harmful functions in communications, right, in the networks. And also bots are used to collect the personal information through internet messages and conversations, right? So like it is like bot is acting like another person, like a robot who is interfering in our communication, right, and gaining the details, right? Now in communication means communication does not only means like talking to each other, right? When you are sending some data, like you are typing your password and the username and send it to the other side, means again a communication, right? So the bot can steal those details, right? And a hijacker or the browser hijacker, right? Now it is capable of misdirecting a user to a different website through the internet to collect information regarding trades, commerce, and advertisement. Hijacker is similar to adware, like Ogalantat experience at the sometimes you go to the several different websites, and when you click a link, it won't open the particular link. Then ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිට experience කරන්න පුළුවන් when we are trying to download some songs in the song softwares, like in the song websites, right? Where they provide MP3s and audios and all these things. So once we click the download link, it will open up something else. Then that particular page may have a link to open up the download link to the audio, or sometimes for the very first time when we click it, it opens something else, and the second time when we click it, it starts the downloading, right? So it is the browser hijacker or the hijacker. These things are very similar, or like very very common, and it is not very much harmful, but again it's disturbed to the user, right? Phishing is something harmful, right? Phishing means like phishing is done by a phisher, right? It's about deceiving the user varavatano, right? In this phishing is very frequently happen in the in the website where it contains username and passwords to log in, like internet banking websites. And because of this, that particular websites are showing a specific message by saying, we are not sending you any links or any emails regarding the online login or online login has changed or something. Please do not click and come to our website. Click those links and come to the website. just please visit to the website by yourself by typing the original address on the browser address bar, right? I'll show you some example. Now this is People's Bank login, and yeah, I wonder whether they were saying something like that. No, it was there in the Sampath Bank login, as I remember. Yeah, this is the Sampath Bank login. See here what it shows you the message. වැදගත් ආරක්ෂක පණිවිඩයක් කියලා තියෙනවා. Right. So it's converted into Tamil now. Let me take a full screen snapshot. Yeah. Oh my God. Right. So as it shows, see, this is, we are not sending any links. Links, right? User ID, password, when එක බෙදා ගන්න දෙපා වෙබ් අඩවියේ පිවිසීමට සෑම විටම මේ කියන එක type කරලා එන්න කියලා, right? So what phishers do is, now phisher can send you a message that can be a SMS, that can be an email, that can be an instant message, right? By saying the details regarding your login has changed or your website has been updated, please visit to your website by clicking this link and just open it and see, right? So if we are not very careful with that, we will click it, right? So once we click it, it will open you something very genuine or something very similar to your login page, right? But it is not. Ek pisha hadapu login page, right? So you won't feel anything wrong. You will see the very same page that you are logging in the in the regular manner. So you give your username and password without thinking about it. So then once you click login button or once you press enter, that browser will give you some error message, server has not found, or some error types, please log in again, or something. And when that thing happens, we will go to the website again and try to enter our username and password. Like on this time, Fisher will be careful to send you to the very correct website or to the genuine website. Then you will be giving your username and password, then you will be able to enter it. එහෙම වුණාම ඔයාට හිතෙන්නේ නැහැ වැරද්දක් වුණා කියලා. හිතන මොකක් හරි communication error එකක් වෙන්නේ නැති කියලා. Right? But in the very first scenario, Fisher has taken your username and the password. Now he has the username and the password, so he can do whatever the thing by logging into your internet banking. Now think about giving your credit card details to someone like this. Credit card detail එක අපිට ඕන වෙන්නේ card numbers ටික විතරයි, right? So if someone has it, he can do any transaction that he wants. Right? Okay, the spam. You know what is spam is, right? In the email, you can find a spam folder. I think most of you, like almost everyone has seen what is spam is. I'll show you the spam folder, right? So in all the email service providers are maintaining this spam folder. Yeah. So this is the spam folder. So yeah, see, I have received many different Danidu, when it comes to the credit card numbers, it cannot be generated by the programs because credit card is containing several different details inside it, like the expiry date, the card number, there is a PIN, and there are different things. So even though a program is able to generate the credit card number, it is very hard to guess the PIN. It is very hard to guess the what you call the expiry date. So when something when someone enter in their credit card details, they are entering all these details. What's the name of the card? What's the credit card number? What's the PIN number? What is the expiry date? So the credit card provider will cross-check all the details, right? So maybe a program can be able to generate the credit card number, but it's not sufficient, right? And Leandra has asked a question, by a virus, can someone hack the computer which has the virus? Yes, Leandra, we don't know what is the purpose of that virus, right? So someone can make a virus to open your computer's ports to the outer world. So anyone can else come and like if ek harita gedara kawuru hari avilla oyata horen gedara dora ariya wage, right? So everyone can come inside without an invitation, right? So yes, someone can send a virus uh, to get hacked your computer by someone else or by the same person, right? Right. So these are the spam messages I received, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just selecting everything because I don't have anything important here, right? So I just delete this forever, right? That's the practice regarding the spams, right? So in most of the cases, uh, like spams are like the mails are sent into the spam folder if it is suspicious, like if it is big in size, right? Saka sahitana ගොඩක් වෙලාවට සැක වෙන්නේ when it is big in size. A lot of organizations are using this emails uh, with these brochures and all these things, the advertisement components, which will make your email a heavier one, right? So it will definitely not coming into the inbox, but be sent to the spam box. So we can go there and just delete it. If we really know what this mail is about, we can open it and see. Yes, Tanidu. Yes. So ඒක හරියට අපේ අතේ බෝම්බයක් තියාගෙන අපිම පුපුරවා ගත්තා වගේ වැඩක්. Right? So yes, virus can get affected to the virus maker or to the hacker as well. But again, since he is the one who made the trap, he know how to get rid of it. Right? Putala, give me a second. Right. So, and the spams, we talk about the spam. So the advisable thing is, if you don't know about the spam mail, just delete it, right? We never know whether it is a virus or not. And if you know about it, you can just open it and see. But be careful and be sure always, right? Yeah, so like regarding the safeguarding part, as I told you, to get safe by these malwares and all these things, it's better we install a virus guard to the computer, update the virus guard frequently and as necessary, right? Because virus guard will always give you the alerts when it is having an update, and it's better you update as soon as possible, right? And be careful with use of USB memory and all these things. It's better you always check it before you use it, right? And installing authorized softwares, right? We can genuine softwares that free and open. If it is free and open source, it's not going to harm you because it's always free and open source, right? But if you are trying to download something which is a licensed software, and if you are searching for a crack software, which we always do, right? But we have to be very careful when we are doing it, right? Through that, you may be inviting someone else or some other harmful softwares into your computer, right? And අපි දැන් crack software එකක් ගන්න යනවා නම් we should be very sure about that particular website, right? හැමෝම පාවිච්චි කරන තැනක්ද. We can go through that, how many downloads has happened. අපි නැත recommendations ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන්ටමත් software එක use කරන කෙනෙක්ගෙන් කොතනින්ද download කරගත්තේ. Then you can go for that particular link and download, right? Just don't go blindly, right? Instead of administrator account, maintain user accounts. Yes, like when you are like accessing through a user account, you don't have the administrative privileges. So even though the hacker will be able to come into your computer, but with your privileges only, he can't gain the administrator privileges through hacking. එයා කරන්නේ දැනට ඉන්න එක hack කරන එක. ඒතකොට ආ user කෙනෙක් නම් userව තමයි hack වෙන්නේ. So administrator තරම් user powers නැහැ. So it will give you some protection, right? And if the computer connects to the internet, access secure websites, right? Check URL for verification. Now it's like this. Now if you consider about my website, it's not a secure website. It can HTTPS load when it because I have to purchase the HTTPS, which will cost me, right? So it says see, not secure. Then I am assuring my website to you guys as a secured one, right? මෙතන තියෙන protocol එක අරගෙන නැති එක, right? So on that case it is genuine. But if you don't know really about a website, then it's going to be a problem, right? Select only secure websites for download of software or other materials. As I told you before, download, check with the virus guard. It will, and basically now when it comes to the email services, they check it, right? And be careful with opening an emails where necessary, use a virus guard before downloading the attachment. Yes, all these things. Avoid suspicious advertisement or messages. Do not enter personal information without checking on security. Use firewall, virus guard, email filters to avoid these risks, right? So at the below they have given some popular antivirus softwares, right? And මෙතනදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන තව practical දෙයක් මම පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්නම්. Now when you are having the genuine Microsoft Windows, you are given its virus guard, which is called the Windows Defender. Earlier it was called Windows Defender, now it is called Windows Security. දැන් මෙයා තියෙනකොට ඔයාගේ operating system එක genuine operating system එකක් නම් you only need this particular virus guard. You don't need to take any third party virus guards. තව වෙන කඩෙන් එකක් අරගෙන දාගන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. You can update this and keep your security. මොකද මේක හදලා තියෙන්නේ it's for the Windows. So Windows people does the best things for the Windows. So you don't need an extra thing to make your computer protected again, right? This is sufficient, right? ගොඩක් අය මේකට යන්නේ නැහැ ඒගොල්ලෝ නේද? නේ සමහර ප්‍රසිද්ධ නම් වලට යනවනේ Kaspersky දා ගන්න ඕන කියලා කියනවා. ESET දා ගන්න ඕන කියලා කියනවා. ඒ වගේ කියනවා. Everyone does the same thing, right? It's only the interfaces and some extra features may be there. සමහර වෙලාවට having an additional antivirus software will make your computer slow, right? Okay, so that is the things regarding the malwares. So let's jump to the question paper again. All right, now it says, so we have to match the things. Present itself as a harmless and enters without the knowledge of the user and then could steal and or delete data, right? So it's something like a spyware, right? The Trojan horse. Collect information about bank accounts or electronic accounts using emails and steal cash deposit by deceiving the user. Yes, that is what you call phishing, right? So this is going to be spyware. This is going to be phishing. Unauthorized email, either related to advertisement about a product or from an unknown person, collects email address and they are used unlawfully, which we call the spams. Are capable of acting and spreading along using email attachments, false website and instance messages, computer worms, right? Let's go for the marking scheme and confirm the things. Yeah, first one is spyware, second one is phishing, third one is spam, and last one is computer worms. So 0.5 for each mark, for each point, each correct answer, right? Yes, at the second part it is asking in the second part, they are asking about write down 2 methods for the proper disposal of electronic waste. Yeah, so there are, like, most commonly we are talking about 3R systems, right? So 3R system means reduce, reuse, and recycle, right? So when it comes to the electronic waste, what we can do is we can reduce using the electronics, so eventually it will lead to a less electronic devices being used, so it will produce less electronic waste, right? So reducing will give you some solution. And reuse, right? So if I am getting a new phone, I can sell my old phone to someone else instead of keeping it at home and putting it in here and there without using it, right? So someone else will use in my phone, which will fulfill their requirements. So they won't go for new ones. So then again, it will reduce the things. It will reduce the usage of the electronic devices and will eventually reduce the e-waste. And the last thing is the recycling. So we are giving our electronic waste to recycle when they are not working. So there are like centers which collect the electronic waste. So you have to send those electronic waste to that particular center, and they will recycle this. Sometimes they take the parts directly, some circuit parts, or they will crush it and recycle it and use them as a raw material. But in this case, according to this question, they are asking, write down 2 methods for the proper disposal of electronic waste. So recycling, we can't use that for this disposal method. We can use reduce and reuse only, right? මොකද recycling කරන්නේ third party එකක් වෙනම එක්කෙනෙක් ගිහලා එක කරන්න ඕනේ, right? අපිට dispose කරන්න පුළුවන් විදි තියෙන්නේ it's by reducing and reusing, right? And the B part is asking, write down any 3 recommended correct posture a user should adopt in order to minimize an adverse effects such as computer vision syndrome, carpal tunnel syndrome, and repetitive stress injury related to the ICT. So I have discussed this earlier as well. I want you to show the things again so you will memorize. So musculoskeletal problems due to the improper posture, right? වැරදි විදිහට වැරදි ඉරියව් පාවිච්චි කරාම. Then RSI, repetitive stress injury, starting from the neck and the shoulder area and moving to the moving to the hands and arms, right? The pains that are keep repeating, right? So the CTS, carpal tunnel syndrome. So it is due to the incorrect way of mouse and keyboard using, right? Without resting the arm. If you pressure the, if you give the pressure on the wrist, it will swell, right? Both sides of the wrist, right? And infect some nerves as well. So those nerves will flow to the fingers and the fingers will get disabled as well, right? CVS, computer vision syndrome, because of staring at the screen for a long time, right? And it will give you dry eyes, redness in eyes, blurred vision, all these things, and headaches, right? And the stress that you are gaining through the like gaining through working with the computer, like develop the technical advancement and the requirement which is given to be fulfilled by the employee with the time, right? So අඩු වෙලාවකදී වැඩ ගොඩක් කරන්න දුන්නොත් you will feel stress, right? And this is the correct posture that you have to maintain. The monitor should be lower than the eye level and it should be away from you, like 15 to 45 to 70 centimeters, right? And you should use a seat which has a proper backrest, right? කොන්ද කෙලින් තියාගෙන ඉන්න එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ, ඉස්සරහට නැවිලා ඉන්න එක. කියන්නේ බංකුවක්, bench is not going to be a good solution. As well as there are some chairs පිටිපස්සට ඕගොල්ලෝ නිකන් ඇල කරලා වගේ rest කරන් තියෙන chair එකක් ගැලපෙන්නේ නැහැ computer එකක වැඩ කරන්න, right? And the arms should be on the armrest or should be on the table, right? දැන් මෙතන නම් armrest එක පෙන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. And the feet should like touch the floor, right? ගොඩක් අය පුරුදු වෙලා තියෙනවා නේද කැරකෙන පුටුවේ අර කකුල් දෙකේ තියාගන්න නැත්නම් කකුල් උඩ තියාගෙන ඉන්න, which is not a good posture, right? So in the question that they are asking, what are the remedies that you can take to avoid from these things? So let's go by the marking scheme. And they can say, see the correct eye levels, eye at correct distance from the scheme, vertical position of the legs, wrist straight with keyboard, straight shoulders, straight back, straight head. Those kind of things can be taken as the answer, right? All right, so in the third part, it's asking about, yeah, they have given the given some scenario, right? And it says an information technology manager, an IT manager is given away these details to be like he is doing it on a goodwill. Yeah, හොඳ අරමුණක් තියාගෙන මේක කරන්නේ, right? An IT manager is having the some portfolio, some details about companies, and he is providing these email and these details to the voluntary organization and asks to contact them and have the fundings or the support for their charity works. So the intention is good. නේද IT manager ගේ අරමුණ හරි එකක්. එයා හරි කියලා කියන්නේ එයා ඉන්නේ නිවැරදි මතයක මේ voluntary ස්වච්ඡාවෙන් වැඩ කරන සංවිධානයේට emails ටික දුන්නම ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් organisation එකත් එක්ක communicate කරලා අපි මෙහෙම දෙයක් කරනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ අපිට උදව් කරන්න කියලා they can request. But this is not something ethical. Because when IT manager is providing the details of that company, he or she should inform it to the company first, and he can propose to the company there is a organization, a community, or the what you call ethically. People, sorry, I didn't recognize. I was disconnected for some time. Can anyone tell me what is the point that you were hearing for the last time? Yes, anyone? Right. Not for a long time. Okay. Right. So the IT manager can the most ethical way is IT manager can inform it to the businessman and tell them to help this voluntary group. So this is an unethical thing which is happening. So you are asked to justify why it is unethical, right? So it is because of providing confidential data to the third party without permission, right? Or violating privacy, something, some explanation which goes with this, right? So the last part is talking about the computer hardware in an office completely destroyed by a fire, and as a result, some important data is stored device has been lost forever. Briefly explain the precautionary steps that could have been taken to avoid this loss of data. So you can have the backups in a different building, right? Having the backups in the same building won't make you protect that, right? And you can store the backups in a different geographical location, or you can use something like a cloud service, right? So it will be stored in the cloud in each and every time when you are changing the things, right? So taking the backups to a different geographical location or backing up it to the cloud storage will be the answers. Right, so that's sum up the second question. Yeah. Anyone who has done the third question? Yeah, Danidu has done it. So let's quickly go through that and let's wind up the session after we discuss the third one, right? So I'm going with the marking scheme. Right, Lot has done it. Okay, so first one is about the fill in the blanks type, right? So what were they talking about? In addition to internet connection, blank is essential component to publish a website, right? So it is going to be the web host, right? Is an essential component to publish a website, right? Because web user group, content management software, those are to develop things, not for the hosting part, right? So the web host is essential component to publish a website. A blank is used to create in a dynamic website. Yeah. Content management softwares, CMS. We need CMS to develop dynamic websites because dynamic website is a very complex way of creating the websites. So like hard coding it or like typing it by yourself will take a lot of time. right? And content management system need to have those facilities inside it very quickly and in a very nice and neat way. Text, images, and sound are components of web contents, right? It's a simple thing. Text, images, sounds, the most common components that you can see in any website. So those are called web contents. Regular updating of a website is an important part of maintenance, right? Because regular updating happens once you host the website. So after hosting, we are doing the maintenance. So it is the part of maintenance, right? So as the marking scheme says, you can see web host, content management software as the second one, web content and maintenance. So 0.5 for each part. And regarding the HTML page, I'm going through the going by the question. So it is asking you to complete the things. In my paper, I can't see the numbers properly, but I'll go through it. So in the head section, human elephant conflict. So it is in the head section. So one should be the title, right? I'm not talking about this thing. This is not the title. This is a header one, right? Make up a web page. Make H1 hari H2 hari. I'm talking about the one which is in the head section. Head section එකේ අපිට මෙයාව දාන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ title tag දෙකක් අතරමැද. So one is going to be the title, right? So the second one, there are three things have been displayed. So second, third, and fourth. Now inside the fourth, after the fourth tag, you can see something called face and color. So these are belongs to the font tag. So 4 is going to be the font, right? So they are talking about human elephant conflict in Sri Lanka, which is this particular one. So it is in big fonts, so it should be H1. So H1 can be either 3 or 4, right? I'm going with 3. So this can be H1. Someone can say it is H2, right? Doesn't matter. And it is center aligned. So the other tag will define you the center tag, right? This is center aligned. So the third one can be taken as center. And again, third and second can be shifted, can be toggled, right? If third is H, the fourth is going, if the second is H1, third is going to be the center. If the third is H1, second is going to be the center. So then the fifth, where's the fifth? This is the fifth. Yeah, sixth, where is the fifth? Right, people, I lost my connection again. Let me quickly share it and we can finish it quickly. So after the image, this is here we got IMG tag, then that after it's going to be the SRC, because SRC is the tag, is the attribute which defines where the image is or what is the name of the image. So fifth one is going to be the SRC. Sixth one, it is a paragraph, so 6 is going to be P. And this alignment, so alignment for a paragraph, there are 4 types of things, right, left, right, center, and justified. So as you can see in your picture, this paragraph is justified. The alignment at the left and the right have been aligned properly. So 7 is going to be justified. This is going to be justified. And the 8, is there an 8? Yes. Yes, I think this is the 8. So this 8 represent href because it is inside an anchor tag. So inside the anchor tag, it is the href which we use to indicate the link. So 8 is taken as the href, right? So when it comes to the marking scheme, here it says title, second and third can be H1 and the center text. 4 can be font, 5 can be SRC, 6 is P, 7 is justified, 8 is href. So 1 mark for each correct answer, right? So that is how you are going to take 10 marks for that. Okay, people, so we have discussed until the third question with the theory part of the, some of the theory part of the last lesson, right? So I hope meanwhile, when we are discussing the papers, we will be able to finish discussing the theory parts in the last lesson, which we haven't done. So I'm starting the next session by this fourth question by next Saturday, right? So until then, thank you very much for participating in today's session. So I'm stopped the session from this point. Have a nice weekend, people, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dua.